It's time. Here's the vinyl. I'm not gonna go through every single vinyl because we'd be here all night. I've selected a ton of some of my favorites. Now, keep in mind, I don't have every single vinyl of like my favorite records, but I have the rest of my life to try to get all those. So starting out strong, anything Joe Cuba is incredible. If you don't know who Joe Cuba is, here's your homework. On road trips, we would like put on his CD and just like all sing along as a family. So this has a very special place in my heart. This is my favorite Stevie Wonder album. Here it is. It's got Too High on it. It's got Livin' for the City. It has my favorite, well, I have two favorite Stevie Wonder songs, but this is my favorite Stevie Wonder song is Golden Lady, and that's on this album. He's definitely, yeah, I would say prolific composer, incredible artist, incredible player, incredible mind, a genius mind. I absolutely love this album. And also the cover is so epic. I love the colors in it. It's very groovy. A record collection would not be complete without a Queen album. It has You're My Best Friend, which is my wedding song. I don't know, this album is incredible. And I remember listening to this album a lot as a kid. And I just remember like having it open. And I think this is actually my parents' record. I forgot to say, a lot of these records came from my parents because when my parents got married, they both had a lot of similar album, like music taste. So they had a lot of the same albums. So eventually they gave me the doubles, which I was so excited about. So I'm pretty sure this came from my parents' collection. I probably should have been keeping track of the other ones that came from my parents' collection. But I just remember being a kid and like putting the record on and just like following the lyrics and like trying to learn them. And yeah, this album is a masterpiece. I was really, really lucky to see Earth, Wind & Fire last July for July 4th at Hollywood Bowl. This album is incredible. I think it has probably one of the best openings of any album of all time. This album is one of my favorites of all time. Shaka Khan. This is What You Gonna Do For Me. Did this come out in 84? No, 81. This came out in 81. Every single song on here is amazing. Of course, the Night in Tunisia version that she does with the Brecker brothers. This was kind of a random record store find, but ended up being like so epic. This is Steve Hillage. And I mean, I think we got it because the cover looked epic and we're like, this guy looks cool. Meditative. It feels like you're kind of on a meditative journey when you listen to this album. That's at least how I feel when I listen to it. And the cool thing, it was produced by Todd Rundgren. And it's dedicated to all optimistic visions of the future. So this is like what you're getting into when you listen to this. Classic rock. This album is so good. Every single song on here is like a certified rock banger. Steppenwolf. Wild Gold. This one has Magic Carpet Ride, which is such a great song. And of course it has the famous Born to Be Wild. Magic Carpet Ride is like such a cool psychedelic. There's that whole breakdown and it like goes away and then like comes back. This is Mort Garson. And this is Plantasia. This is the coolest album. I love this. Yeah, my dog loves this album too. Just vibing out to it. And look how cute. They're so happy. This is another one from my parents' collection. Like I said, when my parents got married, they had a lot of duplicates. And so I got to take this one, which, I mean, come on. This is one of the most classic albums of all time. So yeah, I love this one so much. Manic Depression is like one of my favorite songs. This is another double from my parents' collection. Off the Wall, my favorite Michael Jackson album of all time. For my senior recital, I played I Can't Help It, which is a Stevie tune, but done by Michael. And really nothing else to say, but Quincy and Michael Jackson really did that thing on this album. This Jackson 5 album is my favorite because it has Never Can Say Goodbye on it, which is my favorite early Jackson 5 song. This album is amazing. Heartbreak Hotel, Can You Feel It, Lovely One, Walk Right Now. Like every single song on here is amazing. I loved this era of the Jacksons. Very close to the Off the Wall years. David Bowie. I think we have like 2 or 3 copies of this because sometimes you just need more than one. This is my favorite Donny Hathaway album. This live album is a constant being played on this turntable. It is kind of like a weekly or monthly play. Like it is played so much in this house. No one had a better voice. This Bobby Caldwell album. Open Your Eyes, which obviously we know turns into The Light for Common. There's really no words. Hopefully everyone knows this album. It's a classic, perfect holiday vibes. So had to have that in the collection. Next is Wendy Carlos. You may know Wendy from Switched On Bach 2. But I specifically really like this one, the Well-Tempered Synthesizer. Pioneer in the synth space. Next, we're heading into like minimalist territory, and Steve Reich, Music for 18 Musicians, is probably my favorite Steve Reich album of all time. And if you're not into minimalist music or you don't really know about it, it may sound simple, but it's not. It's like really intricate parts, a lot of different moving parts. And yeah, this album is definitely on the replay list a lot. Still staying in the minimalist land, we have Philip Glass. This is Einstein on the Beach. This is so epic. And actually I had a chance once to see it at Brooklyn Academy of Music, also known as BAM in Brooklyn. The whole performance, it was 4 hours. I don't even think there was an intermission. It was incredible. It's like an entire show. Absolutely incredible. One of my favorites of all time. This is my favorite classical guitar album. If you've never heard of Segovia before and you like classical guitar sounds, this is a really, really great album to check out. Well, and it's hard to pick because there's so many. Yeah. Anything Stan Getz Bossa Nova is an instant win for me. And this is a live album. Right? Yeah, this one's a live album. The two of them together are perfection. Some of you know I am a musician. I went to school. I went to jazz school. My major was in jazz voice, and I played bass and piano in school. So maybe some of my jazz fans will be like, oh, this is such a cop-out. This is everyone's favorite jazz album. But to be honest, it really is one of the greatest jazz albums of all time. So I have to put it in here. And that's Miles Davis, Kind of Blue. There's no words for this one. This one is an absolute masterpiece from start to finish. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. You have Coltrane on here. You have Cannonball Adderley. Like, you have all the legends on this album. And modal jazz, kind of stepping away from like maybe what you would consider like standards. Anyway, it's one of my favorite albums. This is Lee Ritner. This album is Rit. This is my favorite album. There's a lot of songs on here sung by Eric Tagg. He's an incredible vocalist. This one has Mr. Briefcase on it, which is one of my favorite songs, and also Is It You? We're getting into Herbie territory. This was so hard because we have so many Herbie records, and I love everything that Herbie Hancock does, but I really had to distill it down for you all so that this video wasn't 45 minutes long. This is Man-Child. This album is so awesome. It's like the perfect mixture of like vibey, but also still kind of headhuntery if you're kind of used to that Herbie era. This one has bubbles on it, Hang Up Your Hang-Ups, which leads me to my absolute favorite Herbie Hancock album right here, Wandishi. This is my favorite Herbie album of all time. I don't even really know how to explain it other than it's just definitely one of those albums that you want to put on and just sit back and relax, maybe close your eyes, turn the lights out, listen to it from start to finish, and then honestly, probably listen to it start to finish again. And also, we have 3 copies and I'm not really sure why, so I'm gonna find out from my other half. This one has Shine On, Ride On Love. It has all, oh, it even has Someday, which Kanye West sampled. Okay guys, the cover is flying in. I mean, come on. This cover's incredible. George Duke knew what he was doing. Ella and Louie, it's so beautifully well done. The arrangements are beautiful. Their voices together are beautiful. Their chemistry singing together and making music together is just absolutely stunning. Return to Forever, Romantic Warrior. This album is, if you're not familiar with Return to Forever, if you know the jazz pianist Chick Corea, this is his other project. It's much less straight ahead jazz and much more like fusion. There's elements of rock. This to me, this one and the next one I'm going to show you like really feels like a concept album where it's not just like, oh, we picked the best songs and put them on an album. It like really feels super thought out. Like every song really goes into each other perfectly and it feels like one complete full thought. This is not another Return to Forever, but it is Chick Corea. This one is epic. This one is Chick Corea, the Mad Hatter. This album similarly just feels like a complete concept album. This one, his wife sings a lot of the vocals on it too, and she's got this like cool ethereal, almost like operatic kind of voice, which I absolutely love because it's cool to hear that mixed in with the jazz. Some more fusion for you. The Brecker Brothers Band. This album, I mean, besides the cover being like absolutely bananas, This one has like some really great ones on it. Some skunk funk, funky see, funky do, just like some of their classics. I just realized in the jazz category, I forgot to pull this one, Ahmad Jamal live album. I don't know where it is, but that's one of my favorite albums. Okay, this is a newer album for me. I only started listening to this like maybe a year or two ago, but when I was introduced, I was immediately like kind of floored and my mind was blown because I had never heard anything like this. This album right here, this is Alan Holdsworth. Just pure shredding guitars, super complex chords, weird time signatures, but in the best way, not like pretentious. That's what I'm gonna say about this one. This was so hard because Al Jarreau is one of my favorite artists of all time, and we have a lot of his records, and it was really hard for me not to pull every single one off the shelf. But this one probably takes the cake for me. This one is called This Time. This one has Never Given Up, which is my favorite Al Jarreau song of all time. It also has Alonzo, which is a great song. Oh, there's his version of Spain on it where he like wrote lyrics to the standard Spain, which Chick Corea wrote. See, it's all full circle, guys. All the musicians are just, you know, in it together. Guys, you are real heroes staying with me for all this because this is going to be a long one. Sufjan Stevens, Age of Odds. This album is, like, if you listen to Sufjan Stevens, you kind of know him for more like acoustic, ballady, kind of like indie, sometimes sad, like makes you want to cry, but in a good way kind of songs and albums. But this album was like sort of a left turn in my opinion, but in the best way possible. Rock feelings and sort of like rawness to it, but still having the brass and the strings and like heavy guitars. And I don't know. This album's great, and I was lucky enough to see this in concert when he went on tour for this album, and it was absolutely epic. I saw it at the Brooklyn Bandshell, I want to say, back in 2010. The Smashing Pumpkins are like one of my favorite bands of all time, and while I don't have Melancholy and the Infinite Sadness on vinyl yet, this is my favorite of the vinyls I have. This is Siamese Dream. It has Today on it, Cherub Rock, Mayonnaise, like all the classic 1993 songs that the Pumpkins put out. All right, sticking with the alt-rock 90s vibe because I'm a 90s kid and I just love it. This is Kid A, Amnesiac, and then another album that has like B-sides and unreleased material. So I have a ton of Radiohead albums and they're kind of all my favorite, but if I had to pick one, I feel like these two combined are, you know, up there. This Pixies album, Surfer Rosa, is my favorite Pixies album, and I just recently got it on vinyl, I think over the holidays, and so that was an awesome find. I was like, yes, I finally have it in my collection. So I'm absolutely thrilled. This one has, I feel like the most famous one that people would probably know is Where Is My Mind? But my favorite songs on this album are Break My Body, Gigantic, River Euphrates. Like this whole album is just banger after banger. I was lucky enough to see them at Jones Beach Theater in like 2004, I want to say, when I was in like, well, I don't want to age myself, but you know, I was in middle school enjoying them. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is one of my most played albums of all time. It is Justice, Woman Worldwide. And this album is incredible. It's different from their album Woman. So this is kind of like the studio version of the live version that they did for the Woman tour, because it's not exactly the Woman album. This is kind of always one of my go-to albums to listen to. This is my favorite Deftones album. White Pony. Shout out to my cousin who introduced me to them whenever this came out. 2000. Did it really come out in 2000? I guess so. It was one of my instant favorites. I got it on CD like the next day at Borders. And then just recently I've added it to my record collection. Jeff Buckley, Grace. I had heard the songs, but I'd never like listened to this album straight through. And the first time I ever heard So Real, I was like, what is happening? My brain just was like short circuiting. I was like, this is so genius. I need to listen to this whole album, and then promptly got it. I think this one is a cool addition too. It's a lilac vinyl, which is really cool. Pretty. Anyway, sometimes the aesthetic is cool, you know? Jaga Jazzist. I saw them in concert in New York. I think it was at Webster Hall. Or I saw them at Webster Hall and I saw them at Le Poisson Rouge. And man, they put on an amazing show. It's like 13-piece band. I'm pretty sure they're from Iceland. 13-piece band, like crazy light show attached to like everything they're playing. Cool, vibey, spacey kind of elements. It's sort of electronic, So this is still like newer stuff, meaning like that's not like classic from like 50s, 60s, 70s. In college, my husband and his friend had purchased an entire record collection of a DJ down in Miami where we went to school. And so we have like a lot of these singles left over. So I'm excited to share some of these. By the way, the DJ was DJ Epps. I just remembered. Slum Village, come on. Classic. Nothing more to say other than like just some of the most imaginative, revolutionary hip hop. This is from the Detroit Deli LP. This is just a classic single. Speaking of Slum Village and obviously Jay Dilla, of course, I had to share these two. I kind of like that they're all short. Two Can Win, and I just basically put it on repeat like 10 times in a row because I'm not getting enough of it. D'Angelo, Brown Sugar. There's really nothing to say other than he is, or was, one of the greatest artists of all time to ever grace our ears. I don't have all of his albums. I have all of the CDs. I specifically remember going to Borders the day Voodoo came out, and my mom like helped me drive me to Borders so I could buy it with my, you know, babysitting money or whatever. Craig Mack, Flavor in Your Ear. Come on. This song is just such a banger. It's one of my favorites. New flavor in your ear. New flavor in your ear. Common. You know, this one has the light on it, which Jay Dilla produced. So obviously I love that one. But yeah, I mean, this whole album is incredible. Common is definitely one of my favorite rappers. Lyricist, just, yeah. One of my favorite hip hop songs because of the sample is This Is It. So this is the instrumental. There's instrumental on one side and then an acapella and a radio edit. So this is another cool single that the DJ had in Miami. But This Is It uses a sample from, I want to say it's called Dynasty, Adventures in the Land of Music. What a great song. And then just the way it was flipped and chopped for this is just amazing. We're in single land now. And again, you'll see a theme. A lot of these, Jay Dilla worked on them and produced them. Busta Rhymes, Woo-Ha, Got You All in Check. And I think there's even there's the JD Bounce remix on here, which is awesome. 5 or 6 versions on this one. And there's the JD Bounce remix instrumental. There's the JD Other Shit remix. So yeah, there's just like a lot of cool remixes on this one. Busta Rhymes is one of my faves of all time. He probably is my favorite of all time. Okay, we have 2 left. Oh my gosh, we did it, we did it, we did it. Okay, this right here, Pharoah Monch, Simon Says. I mean, there's really nothing else to say. One of the hardest beats ever made. I love this single so much. It is Full Moon. This song is so good. The music video was great too. I love Brandy. I was a huge Never Say Never. I wore that CD out in my Walkman back in the day. Like, it was scratched. That's how much I played it. Well, there you have it. I really tried to narrow it down, but I wasn't really that successful. And like I said, some albums I still need to get. Stay tuned for when I get those.